Welcome back to Houston Life, and welcome to Houston Life, Richard Adler, Dr. Uncle Khosla from AK Pain and Spine. Great to have you both here. I want to dive straight in, Richard, and hear your story, because you were in a great deal of pain and really spent a few years trying to find a solution, and it's very interesting. How did it all begin?
In 2015, I was involved with a car accident. Me and a truck.
That's not good.
and as a consequence of that accident, I went through a series of back surgeries and pain mitigation processes called AFRs that lasted for 3 years.
Wow.
Before I started to find an avenue for relief. Came across Dr. Khosla. He recognized the problems that I was having. My life is finally back to normal.
And you knew about the treatment that Dr. Khosla was able to give you because your late wife actually had this treatment.
Absolutely. My first exposure to Dr. Khosla was through my wife. He was able to give her some relief from her back pain. And in going through that process, I recognized that I had similar problems. Dr. Khosla recognized that he could offer me some real benefits.
So many people, I've spoken to you many times about how they will just push on through the pain and they don't think that there is going to be a solution.
Yeah, it's one of the stories that Mr. Alder was sharing with me, is that he just kind of had to live with it and expected that to be his new normal. We got a chance to explore his MRI, the things that were going on in his spine, and then decide on a treatment called spinal cord stimulation. With this therapy, we're actually able to take those noisy pain signals and turn them off. What that translates into is being able to get up out of bed without thinking twice, going to the gym without paying the pain tax the day afterwards. So just being able to see what this therapy can do in terms of translating a person's "I just have to deal with it" to waking up with vigor and excitement, that's the amazing thing about this therapy.
Wow, it's unbelievable. And you were talking, Mr. Alder, about some of the treatments that you tried before you did this therapy, this spinal cord stimulation. What were those, Dr. Khosla? Are those common things that people try that they have to go through that process of trying those therapies before they find something that works?
Yeah, so I think it's quite natural where we go through a cycle or a spectrum of, well, let me try the most conservative care option that I have. Maybe I'll take a Tylenol and do my stretches and this will go away. The next step in that algorithm is where we can consider different types of injections, or we can burn some small nerves on the spine. The limitation with those is that they're not long lasting. And the hope is with those less invasive options, we're able to provide pain relief and you get a better range of motion and the pain's all gone when those therapies fade away. In this case, it's something that stays with you and provides ongoing relief. And so it's kind of a graduated spectrum. And so there are a lot of people who are in that cycle of repeated nerve ablations, repeated injections, that are quite tired of the revolving door. And this is a way to break that cycle.
It has been complete relief. I used to get up every morning and have to decide how many steps I would have to take before I became viable again. And I would generally count 10, 12, 15 steps out of the bed. I sleep on my stomach. I'm a stomach sleeper. And that was always the most discomfort, was when I would get up out of bed. This morning, it was immediately out of bed, immediately into the shower. And on the scale of pain, I have not reached the number 1 level.
That is unbelievable, because for some people it just reduces their pain, which is amazing because it can be really debilitating, the pain. But to hear that you've had 0 pain, not even a 1 pain from this treatment, that's really unbelievable.
I never expected to have that again.
Wow.
And now it has become my normal.
That is freedom, you know, because you really do get trapped in pain. I know, Dr. Khosla, so many people, as we said, push on through. How do you know if you're feeling any level of pain, when is it time to go and see a doctor about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've tried your conservative options, you're doing physical therapy, or you find yourself in a situation where you're just dealing with it, you don't have to deal with it. Visiting a physician to do some investigative analysis, we can figure out where it's coming from and find a way to turn it off.
And you make it really easy for people because they can come and have a, well, if you're a Houston Life viewer, first 25 callers will get a free initial consultation. And so that's a really great way for people to explore that. So if you want to do that, you can first jump online to akpainandspine.com. You can learn more about the services that they offer because they do have different treatments for different reasons for pain. So that is very, very useful. And of course, you can give them a call and be one of those first 25 callers and get that free initial consultation. The number is 281-896-0013. And if you are interested, there are a few locations for AK Pain and Spine throughout Houston. They're in the Woodlands, Memorial City, and also Humble. Thank you both so much for being here on Houston Life. And Houston Life will be right back.